Hi guys, my name is Kat from Pixel Fusion, and today we thought we'd talk a little bit about something that we do all the time here at Pixel Fusion, which is a design sprint. So we get asked a lot of questions about design sprints. What is a design sprint? Do I need a design sprint? When should I do a design sprint? What are design sprints good for? Who should be in the design sprint? And so we thought we'd spend a bit of time just going through some of those common questions and trying to help you guys understand A, what a design sprint is, and B, whether it's really the right thing for you right now. So let's start with what a design sprint is. Basically, at its core, a design sprint is a 4 to 5 day workshop, and it makes use of a range of design thinking methodologies to really help you either answer questions, come up with a particular solution to a problem, or come up with a brand new idea. So a design sprint is all about collaboration. It's all about being creative and getting outside of your normal comfort zone. And it's really intense. You know, you're going to be in a room with 4 or 5 people for 4 or 5 days, and we're going to ask you to really think differently and act differently to how you usually would. But it's incredible the amount of progress and the amount of ideas that come out of a design sprint. So in a little bit more detail, you know, a design sprint is, if we look at a traditional one, which is 5 days, is made up of a few common components that are really the foundation of design thinking. So one of those is understanding. So on your first day of a design sprint, you're often going to be focusing on understanding your business and your challenges, your outcomes, what you're trying to achieve. And you're also going to be focusing on understanding your user. So who is your user? What are their motivations? What are their goals? What are they interested in? On the second day of a design sprint, you're often looking at taking all of that insight that you've gained in the first day and turning it into some kind of artifact that you can use to then help you solve problems. So sometimes we might do something like customer journey mapping. So we take all of the insights that we gathered from your users, and we create a journey that really illustrates the experience that they have with your business or with your product. Where are the high points? Where are the low points? And where are the opportunities that you can try and solve those problems and create value for the user? So a lot of the time, the sort of first 2 days are really about empathy. They're about understanding the user, and they're also really importantly about understanding the business. Because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is solve problems for the user in a way that is going to help your business move forward. Unless you're a not-for-profit, we're not generally trying to solve problems purely for the sake of the user. We are usually trying to increase engagement, or we're trying to increase revenue or create new revenue streams. And so the first few days of the design sprint are really important in helping us be able to do that. The third day, what we're usually looking at is really getting everybody out of their box, getting them to think laterally, getting them to think creatively, and to start coming up with ideas. And we do that in a variety of ways. So we might use sketching techniques where we're getting people to sketch out ideas on pieces of paper, share them with the person sitting next to them, remix them, take ideas from somebody else. We might challenge people to think about how they'd solve a problem the way that Uber would solve it, or the way that Airbnb would solve it, or using a chatbot or a drone. So we're really just trying to throw in a bunch of prompts to try and get people to break out of the preconceived ideas that they have for solving that problem. So we spend the third day doing that, and then in the fourth day we try and bring it to life. So the fourth day is all about prototyping. So a big part of what we're trying to do with a design sprint is go through the entire process of understanding the user, coming up with a solution, prototyping the solution, and then testing it. And in order to do that, on Thursday, we need to build a prototype. And again, that can take any form depending on what the problem is that we're trying to solve, depending on the product that we're working with, the people in the room. Sometimes we might do something like a paper prototype where we simply got sketches and we take those out and show them to people and ask them what they think. I've been in design sprints where we've built physical prototypes. So we've built kiosks with iPads and taken those out and put them in an environment and tried to understand how people will interact with them. And obviously the common one that we do often is some kind of clickable prototype. So using something like Envision or Atomic or any of the other great prototyping tools out there, we create something that feels almost real, and then we go and put it in front of users. And so the user testing is all about understanding how people are actually going to interact with that product. And that's what we do on Friday. So on the 5th day of the design sprint, our entire focus is on understanding all of the work that we've done in the first week. Has that translated into something that users actually will use, that actually does solve the problem, that actually is in a format that people will interact with and enjoy? And also, is it something that people are willing to pay for? Is it something that is going to make a significant difference to the business's outcomes? Because remember, at the start of it all, we're trying to understand not just the users, but the business as well. So that's what a typical design sprint looks like, and we run them all the time. They're very flexible. That's something that's always important, and we always try to communicate to people, is that a design sprint at the end of the day is 5 days of time, and during that time we can apply a variety of methods and tools to achieve certain outcomes. It really just depends on what you're trying to get out of it.